guys, welcome back to Beyond the Studio Pilates. My name's Hannah and today I want to take you through an advanced clam. This is a really great exercise for your hips and glutes. I hope you really enjoy these versions of the clam that are just a little bit more tricky than your usual clam. So you're going to come, so your elbow and your knee are in alignment. Feet are in line with your hips as well. Core engaged, think rib to hip connection. Make sure you're not sinking down into that shoulder, so keep growing out of that shoulder. From here we're going to do our normal clam. So core on, you're just going to push that heavy book off the top of your leg, hold at the top and then slowly release it back down. So we're pushing and then slowly releasing back down. And as you come back down, I want you to imagine there's a spring in between your knees and you're really pushing that spring back together. It's hard work to get those knees back together. So core engaged, pushing that heavy spring back down. That springy spring. Keep thinking belly button to spine, rib to hip connection. Make sure you're not kind of sinking down into that shoulder. Ready, two more here. Thinking belly button to spine, ribs stay in line with your hips. Remember, make sure they're not jutting out in front, really pushing that heavy book off the top of your leg. Okay, so we're going to take it up again now. So we're going to lift those heels off the floor. Core engaged, make sure you haven't rolled your body forward, and then you're going to again lift and lower. Pelvic floor engaged, core on, lift and lower. Keep thinking belly button to spine, rib to hip connection. Make sure you're not sinking into that shoulder. We're going to do 4 more here. Final 2, doing really well. And final 1. Okay, this time we're going to come into our side plank. Now, if this isn't quite right for you yet, you can continue doing what we were doing. So core engaged, you're going to bring yourself up into your side plank. So your feet have moved back a little bit now and your knee and your hand are in a line. Core engaged, you're going to lift and hold. Take that leg out straight. Bring your feet back together and then your knees back together. Careful you're not sagging, so think about keeping yourself in that plank position. Belly button to spine, ribs in line with your hips. Pelvic floor scooping up. Keep your shoulder over your elbow. Make sure you haven't taken that shoulder forward of that elbow. Doing really well. So really working into those legs, but now we've added in a bit more intensity for that core and also building some strength in that shoulder. We're going to do 3 more, but if you need to have a little break, take it now. Belly button to spine, pelvic floor engaged. Final 1 here. And then bring your knees back together, slowly lowering yourself back down, coming off that elbow. Okay, well done. Then we're going to come onto our other side of clam. So remember, your elbow and hip needs to be in line, and for now, your feet can be just in front of you. Core engaged, we're starting with just our basic clam. So you're pushing that heavy book off the top of your leg, keeping your hips stacked one on top of the other, ribs in line with your hips, not sinking into that shoulder. Thinking belly button to spine, pelvic floor engaged, zipping up from the back to the front. Thinking about that big spring. So as you bring your knee back together, it's hard work. You're having to really push that spring back down. Four more here. Pushing up and then back down. Core engaged, think rib to hip. 2. And final 1. Okay, then you're going to bring those heels off the floor, and this time we're going to lift and then lower. Core engaged. Keep growing out of that shoulder. Make sure you're not sinking down into it. Keep your hips stacked one on top of the other, so try not to roll that hip backwards. It's harder with your upper body off the floor like this. When you're laying down, it's a lot easier for that hip to roll, so this is almost, in that respect, a little bit easier. 3 more here. Doing well. Core engaged, think ribs in line with those hips. 2. And final 1. And then bringing those knees back down, ankles back down. Bring your knees back a bit so you can come up into your side plank. Core engaged, make sure you're not sagging in the middle. And then we're going to lift and straighten. Heels back together and lower. Pelvic floor engaged. Core on. Really stretching out through that leg. Bring your feet back together and then knees back down. Remember, if this one isn't quite right for you today, then just stick with one of the other 2 options. Pelvic floor engaged. Core is on. We've got 4 more to go. Really working into those glutes. Check in with that shoulder. Make sure you've not moved it away from your elbow. Final 2 here. And final 1. And then slowly lowering yourself back down to the mat. Perfect. Thanks for joining my advanced clam today. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a look around my playlists for other videos you can do from wherever you are, whenever you like. Bye for now.